can now claim that it's actually done it. That's quite an accomplishment when we haven't heard that. I wanted to recount, in the center of your table there's a little booklet put together by Pam Clark for us, and she got the information from the Heritage Society, and it's a reprint of the book they used back in the 60th anniversary of the church. And there's only one per table. It's not your booklet that's on your plate. There's only one per table that has the history of that of the church. But a few things I wanted to note before we get started. I read through the booklet. It was very informative and very nice. So what happened was, when the settlers came to Bay Roberts, they began going to Harbour Grace for church and for Holy Communion and baptism and marriage. They had to travel there. And then Reverend Balfour, the minister for Harbour Grace, used to come up and do some services. And they used to do them in people's houses. And John Mercer, he began to do the services from his house, so the book tells us. And when he passed away, he left the house for the divine services. And so it was used for the services. But in 1825, the house became dilapidated, and they tore it down, and they built a new structure, and for the new church. And then in 1827, Bishop Inglis arrived, and they saw a strange ship coming, and he was coming to St. John's to consecrate the church. And so what he did then, he went around and he consecrated all the churches, and he came to Bay Roberts, and he did this church in 1827, and he named it St. Matthew's. So that's when the name was given. So then, in 1824, finally, when the church had been finished, it was very interesting that they had hauled the timber out. And I'm going to read the little section on page 11. It says, I thought this was really interesting for us, for getting us started. It says, after hauling and cutting the timber for their new place of worship, the inhabitants of Bay Roberts became divided in their opinion. I don't know if Mayor Wood can understand that the inhabitants of Bay Roberts would be divided in their opinion as to whether it should be a church or a meeting house. And so strong did their contention become that it led to blows and an appeal in the court in Harbour Grace. So to resolve this, however, what they did was they divided the timber, and with part of the frame where the church was erected, and with the remainder of the frame, the present Wesleyan meeting house was built. And from that year, 1824, it was the division of the two, thus weakening the body of Christians already connected, moreover by family ties, who should have only been and continued as one. And here we are in the Wesleyan meeting house. God that is one, and they are going to serve us our supper. And I thought that was very interesting that we would be here tonight, hosted by the United Church